tap into your dark feminine energy to magnetize resources with ease. This video is your reminder that she doesn't chase, she remembers who she is, and everything she wants finds its way to her. Please welcome your inner Siren and how she attracts power, love, and luxury. Join us here for this reading as we discover your unique seduction signature, how you attract love, wealth, and admiration, your dark femme archetype, what blocks are melting away now, your mysterious income streams and abundant opportunities opening for you, brought to you by awareness made here, and finally, ritual routines and practices to channel this energy now.
If everything is dipped in gold, then baby it will never grow. Everything sweet ain't sugar coated. What a lie. What a lie.
Three groups: the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, the Murder of Crows Tarot, the Pulp Tarot. Feel free to pause the screen if you need more time to make your selections. I thank you for being here. If you skip the intro, I highly recommend rewinding that so you can get the lowdown on all the information that's going to be provided here for you. And if you're interested in booking a personal reading, joining us on Patreon, or donating to the channel, that information is in the description box down below. But thank you for supporting the channel for free by giving this video a thumbs up, leaving love in the comment section down below, sharing this video with a friend, and hitting the subscribe. Those of you that selected group number 1, the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, I am super excited to dive into your reading, where we are going to be exploring your unique seduction signature, how you attract love, wealth, admiration, and anything of the sorts. Again, you chose the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, which has been prepared for you. Chin. So, as we break down these energies here, we are also going to combine this with your dark femme archetype. I went with the core dark femme archetypes, which fall into 7 groups. So we do have 7 groups listed here. I've written the keyword down, and I will read a brief description to you, but be my guest. Please dive deeper, explore your reading more, and personalize it more by researching the archetype. The one that pops out is for you. And by the way, we have the 10 of Swords, 7 of Swords, Ace of Cups, Strength at the bottom of the deck. So before I expose this, I do want to add that your unique seduction signature starts from the mind, making a sound choice, decision, a willingness to disconnect, detach, or even lose the thing that you want, love, or long for, or hope for, in order to birth it again. There's this death, rearrangement, detachment, and then connection that happens in your unique seduction signature. But we'll dive into that more. But just know that yours is more spiritual. It's more energetic. It's more of a mind thing. But your dark femme archetype is the rebel mystic. The rebel mystic reads, nonconformist, feminist, sacred rule breaker. She lives outside the lines, wild, mystical, and truth-telling. This archetype dismantles systems, owns her oddities, and reclaims ancient feminine wisdom. Keywords for the rebel mystic: authenticity, rebellion, and creative expression. So this talks about that death and rebirth, the detachment in order to connect. How you attract love, wealth, and admiration is by reviving lost arts. Things that were once simple, sacred treasures that are either no longer socially acceptable or again, lost art forms. But it's about revival. Or even a new twist on an old thing. So if you're not completely resurrecting, you are putting a new spin on it. Let's dive a bit more into how you attract love, specifically with the 10 of Swords. You attract love through that key word that we mentioned earlier, authenticity, and true radical acceptance of your core beliefs and values. No shame in your game is how you attract love. But I want to emphasize that the no shame in your game doesn't come across as fiery and energetic, but more calm, thoughtful, broken down, and empathetic. And when I say broken down, I just mean in its truest form. So how you attract love is knowing yourself to the deepest core belief that you possibly can, exploration of yourself, which requires a lot of time to yourself, a lot of deaths and rebirths, time and time again. And by sustaining odd rituals, routines, and or practices, related to love or not. You having odd or particular or peculiar rituals, routines, and practices is how you attract love. You essentially attract love by not trying to attract love, but by trying to satisfy your very own needs. Ten of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. How you attract wealth. Seven of Swords. To the Eight of Swords. How you attract wealth. This has to do with thoughts that inhabit the mind fully, wholeheartedly, and completely. For you to attract wealth, your focus, your goal should not be the wealth itself, but growth and recognition around whatever it is that you choose to focus on. So let's say that you desire to be an interior designer. Your goal is not to think about reaching wealth in interior design, but the goal to reach wealth would be to think of what's never been thought of, or resurrecting ancient interior design practices and modernizing them, putting your own spin or twist on them, or bringing to life your very own beliefs, ideologies, philosophies surrounding interior design and how it shapes the world of interior design even beyond your time. You reach wealth through innovation by not purposely trying to do what's never been done before, but by being so radically independent in your thought process that you birth new canals, new creations, and others naturally follow and align. This helps you to build and retain wealth effortlessly. The wealth is meant to follow you. You're not meant to chase it. This doesn't mean that you don't have plans or desires for wealth, but it just means that it's not the main point of focus. You want to focus on facilitating growth, leaning into understanding within the community that you choose to build within, based on your focus, based on your interests, your desires. And how you attract admiration. Ace of Cups. Is through nurturance. I want to backtrack to where I talked about you not being that fiery, unforgettable force, but more of a rooted, grounded necessity. Reclamation, the number 15, also known as the Devil card. How you attract admiration is through radical kindness. Kill them with kindness is your quote. You might want to tat it on your forehead, group number 1. I'm talking in even the most difficult situations and circumstances where you are being completely and utterly disrespected or disregarded, you still show up with love and grace, not at the expense of your authenticity, not at the expense of your true expression. But even in the face of the most low, downright, dirty treatment, you alchemize it, you make light of it. For example, to keep it simple, let's say that someone is attacking you and they say that they hate your shoes. Instead of you coming up with an insult, you might give it some thought, give them a look up and down, and then pay them a compliment, and then move on. This is radical love, even in the face of judgment and rejection. This is what brings you admiration. There's a deep, unique quality at the core of your seduction signature, and it is respect, maturity, and grace. That is the underlying core to your unique seduction signature. Any and everything that aligns with what I just spoke is how you tap in to your deepest and easiest form of attraction. Now, if this is the complete opposite of who you are now, like let's say that you chose this group and you consider yourself to be a gaseous fireball of feistiness and empowerment. This doesn't mean that you have to kill off this aspect of you. It just means that you have to figure out how to let those embers smolder beneath the coals that control or embrace the fire. In order to allow the fire to feel that it can still exist in its truth, in its complexity, in its wholeness, but it doesn't have to be the face or the forefront of you. This group here has a unique seduction signature that aligns with the word smoldering. It's hot, it's fiery, but it's earthy, which makes it epic. And at the bottom of the deck for you is the Witch, aka the Magician. Okay, my Rebel Mystic. Moving into the next portion of your reading, let's see what blocks are melting away now. I have a bit of an erotic deck that I'm using, so I will not be exposing it. What blocks are melting away now for group number 1? Doubt and indecision. The number 9. Bottom deck, the number 13, the sweetest taboo. I do want to show a quick glance here how the image has a cool tone and a warm tone figure that I find to be significant in your reading, as we talked about the fiery embers that paired with your earthiness that create a warm, nurturing, and inviting smolder. Even in this imagery, it looks as though the cool toned figure is leading and guiding the warm toned figure with grace, with respect, and in solidarity, and in non-judgment. Especially considering the bottom deck, which talks about the sweetest taboo. I believe that there's been aspects or portions of you that have questioned the fiery essence of you, and that questioning has led to some uncertainties and quite literal doubt and indecision, as the card states. This card finds you to reassure you that every aspect of you is needed and necessary, including the fiery parts of you. But let it be not the leading lady, but the supporting man or supporting main character. Lead with grace, assert with fire. This is where your dominance takes place. And the quote that comes with the number 9 doubt and indecision card says, "She loves me not." So again, honoring those double-sided aspects of you and letting them coexist while 13, the sweetest taboo reads, bite into the apple. Leaning into the temptation or the fieriness while pairing it with the grounded, earthy, nurturing essence. The affirmation for the sweetest taboo reads, I indulge in my passions and follow my heart. I am filled with love and boundlessness. While the doubt and indecision affirmation reads, everything I need is within my own heart, and of this I am sure. I manifest a beautiful life. There's major emphasis on twos and doubles and working together in regards to the blocks that are melting away. So whatever aspect of you that you have been sheltering or pretending didn't exist, you're now integrating. Or the part of you that you gave too much room to breathe is now learning how to share the spotlight. Diving deeper into it, we have the portion of mysterious income and abundant opportunities opening for you. Ways that you may not see your own power as accessible or how wealth wants to find you. Because you don't lack resources. You just lack the awareness of how they are trying to reach you. You have partnership with risk and safety. Bottom deck, enlightened heart and mind. Again, risk and safety. There's no coincidence that you have risk and safety showing up twice. With risk and safety, it again brings me back to this concept that we've been talking about with you and duality. Letting every aspect of you exist, but knowing that there's a time and a place for the risk and the safe. And knowing through practice and consideration what time is appropriate or calling for which aspect. This is what you are leaning into at this time, is practicing of risk and safety, putting it into action to know that every aspect of you is welcome, but there's a time and a place. So partnership, risk versus safety, says sometimes we stay in relationships only because they feel safe and familiar, even when they're stifling our personal growth and creativity. A true partnership is a place in which you can share your vulnerability, but a good partner will also encourage you to push the envelope and grow. A true partnership provides a space, a safe place to take risks. It also encourages mutual growth and evolution. While the risk and safety enlightened heart and mind reads, new ideas and ways of doing things are often threatening to the status quo. Have the courage to advance your ideas despite the resistance of others. Do so with an open heart and compassion for the point of view of others. Risk keeping an open mind and heart despite the opinions of others, which takes us back to that admiration. Okay, so your mysterious income and abundant opportunities have to do with admiration. have to do with the earthy aspect and the fiery aspect working together. But the earthy aspect showing up first, the fiery aspect backing it. The risk and the safety. The risk, aka the fire, presents an idea that the earth creates a safety net for. With partnership, enlightened heart and mind regarding risk and safety, your mysterious income seems to surround energetic capital, meaning your essence, your energy itself as a whole. So this can be reflected in a multitude of ways that I can't even think of in my mind, as I'm just here to present the energy to you. But I do also want to keep in mind that you have the witch, aka the magician, at the bottom of the deck. So I care to say that your mysterious income and opportunities are aligned with energy. And you could do anything and everything with energy. This can be you being an actual energy worker, you transmuting energies through Reiki, energy readings. You can go the direct spiritual route, casting spells, selling oils, herbs, etc., etc. You can use this energy to fuel other projects. Poetry is coming through very specifically. Or even teaching others how to learn what you've learned and harness energy in a way that you have. Whether this be through literal energy work on the spiritual side, or how you may have harnessed what you may have considered anger at one time, how you perfected your anger management. Or your reactivity. But overall, your mysterious income and abundant opportunities come from energy itself, which gives you a lot of freedom to decide how you want to utilize that energy. And moving into the last portion, we will discuss rituals, routines, and practices to channel this energy now. You have the full moon represented here. So harnessing the energy of the full moon benefits you greatly. And it is the number 4, so 4 is a significant number along your path. Full moon reads, "My dreams are coming true." The brilliance of the full moon speaks to the fullness of your life. There is so much wonder gracing your experience right now, just waiting for you to shine a light upon it. The full moon represents a peak point, a culmination of effort and energy, and it is a great time to stop and take notice of what is recently manifested. This is a moment to relax into the expansiveness of what already is. You likely have heard, where thoughts go, energy flows. So focus on the abundance in your life and all its shapes and sizes. There has been an outpouring of doing lately, and now you can feel the magnetism that radiates around you, reflecting all that you have called in and cultivated. It is through genuine acknowledgement and the expression of gratitude that you will be able to illuminate the blessings that may otherwise sneak by unseen. This will support you to continue on your cyclical journey of growth. So, for you, group number 1, your ritual routine practice is surrounding gratitude. I know that that may sound so cliche, it may be such an eye roll, but it's magic for you. I'll leave you with this journal prompt. My rebel mystic. What everyday blessings am I grateful for? Thank you so much for joining us here, group number 1. I thoroughly enjoyed your reading, as I hope you did as well. We will be conducting a very deep, thorough, and introspective love reading that is intended to ground you in the now. No BS, no delulu, no limerence. That will be available on Patreon later this week if you are watching presently. Join us on Patreon anyway for content that you won't catch here on the main channel. Check my links in the description box, as the first link takes you to my website where you can book personal readings. Amongst many, many, many other things, you can learn tarot from me in my extremely discounted course that a lot of you have truly appreciated over the years. And so I thought I would share it with you all publicly through a course that you can take a walk through at your own pace. Second link in the description box is the Patreon link to join us for content that you won't get here on the channel. There are 3 different tiers. The first tier gives you access to weekly pick-a-card readings. The second tier gives you access to weekly check-ins and the pick-a-card readings, while the third tier gives you access to monthly personal reading, plus the check-in and the pick-a-card portions that the other tiers receive as well. So check that out and see what best serves your wants, needs, and desires. And I thank you in advance for supporting the channel in any and every way by giving the video a thumbs up, leaving them in the comment section down below, sharing this video with a friend. And if you would like to donate to the channel, there is a P.O. box as well as a virtual tip jar listed down below. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Group number 2, I'm excited to get into your reading as we explore your unique seduction signature and how you attract love, wealth, and admiration. You chose the Murder of Crows Tarot, darling, which has been prepared especially for you. Let's get into the details. El Diablo, which I'm going to leave off to the side. We've got the Page of Wands, the Star, to start us off. Bottom deck, 5 of Cups, but we're not done yet. So we're going to pull from the Dark Feminine archetypes. We chose a specific core 7. Group 1 has already had theirs pulled, so now there's 6 here for you. Whatever one pops out is for you, and will add further depth to your reading. There we go. I'm excited. But before we get into that, let's explore a bit of the tarot, your unique seduction signature, how you attract love, wealth, and admiration. There is obvious sex appeal in this group. Very obvious. It may show up in your way of dress, whether this be all the time or just sometimes, or even in that sometimes you're just really comfortable in it, in your sensuality. There may be accessories that hint towards this, or desires or kinks of yours that hint towards this, even in your everyday life. The way that you do your nails, or the way that you do your hair, or the way that you do your makeup, or the types of tattoos or piercings that you have may allude to a fiery, angsty, sensual, sexual vibe. Okay? But it doesn't just show up in your appearance, it's also in your essence, it's also in your energy. There's a fieriness and a willingness to approach, a willingness to be direct, a willingness to learn, a willingness to also fail or have some regrets. You are definitely the type that would much rather prefer to say that you did it than to wonder what would have happened if you had done it. Okay? You learn through action, you learn through doing. Your unique seduction signature tells me that you're not afraid to be burned. You're not afraid to learn the hard way. Actually, you might invite this energy or be very open and welcoming to this energy than most others would. It seems like this is part of your joy, your vibrancy, your frequency. It's part of what lights you up, makes you feel alive. This group here, you like to feel alive. So let's add to your interpretation. With your dark femme archetype, feel free to explore this beyond what I read to you here. My shadow witch. I will read to you the interpretation, but again, this is a short interpretation and you can personalize your reading more by diving deeper into this topic. The Shadow Witch is described as mysterious, wise, and transformative. She knows how to work with the unseen. She embraces the shadow, her own and others, without judgment. This archetype is a master of energy, protection, and deep healing. Keywords: intuition, boundaries, occult wisdom, spiritual power. And I have to admit that the Shadow Witch makes sense, but at the same time adds an inspiring twist to the story. It's backed by the Five of Cups energy at the bottom of the deck. It's backed by the, I'd rather go through it and learn from it. I do not run from regrets or fear or the interpretation of said things. It has a lot to do with your formulation of words, your thought process, and your choice in defining peculiar moments. You don't really strike me as a type to define something as failure, which is why it is easy for you to, well, easier than most for you to release regret, release the idea of rejection, the shadows and the things that other people run from. It's quite easy for you to redefine it, transmute it, change it. Let's further break this down. Wow, okay. How you attract love is clarified by El Diablo, which I'm going to cover, and the Fool. How you attract love. Diving in head first. How you attract love by facing your fears, how you attract love, doing what you love, going for what you love, saying what you love, doing what you love, and no matter the outcome or the experience or the burn, you nurture, heal, and caress yourself through it. You have a unique seduction signature surrounding fearlessness. This is how you attract love. It's a fearlessness. Things that other people are afraid to do that you will do willingly or jump in head first. Again, because you do not limit yourself when it comes to regeneration. You know that you will resurrect time and time and time again. Risk is your best friend. So how do you attract love? Is by taking risks. Calculated, careful risks, but you don't overthink them just because they're calculated and careful. You learn through experience. Page of Wands, clarifying your unique seduction signature and how you attract wealth. So this group here, how you attract wealth, comes through creative endeavors, creative ventures. These are my poets, writers, creators, performers. You likely play instruments, or could have been a theater kid. Page of Cups. Clarifying this. Yeah. You pour your heart, essence, and soul into creativity. This is how you attract wealth. Never let your inner child grow up. Never quiet your inner child. Because that is how you as an individual make change and attract wealth, by acting on your passions, acting on your intuitive nudges, acting on quick, inspired thinking. Overthinking is your worst enemy. Group number 2. Of course, it is wise to be wise and strategic and to think before you act, but to overthink is the detriment of you. Most particularly in attracting wealth. And how you attract admiration. It's people witnessing you healing yourself. Witnessing you clean out the wounds and bandage them up. So how you attract admiration is by not faking perfection, is by not applying the performance aspect of you to every aspect of you. Putting on this show of perfection isn't as becoming of you. Seeing you and your humanness gives you a Neptunian, dreamlike quality for people to admire. So to talk about mistakes or wounding or imperfections or lessons learned the hard way, or to talk about the difficult parts of your story and how it got you to the light parts of your story, we want to see it all. We want to know how you got here. That makes people become quite awe-inspired with you. So do not feign perfection for admiration, but stand in truth of who you are, where you've been, where you're headed, and most of all, where you're coming from, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. We want to know it all. Justice at the bottom of the deck for you. Further exploring the depths of your reading, we are getting into what blocks are melting away now. Ooh, okay. That was tickling my nose for a while. What blocks are melting away now for group number 3? I'm not going to show this deck because it is a bit erotic, if you will. But you received 13, the sweetest taboo. With bottom of the deck, 14, seeking pleasure. So what blocks are melting away now? The blocks that forbade you from doing things, from testing the waters, from facing your fears. The sweetest taboo says to bite into the apple. What blocks are melting away are the blocks that kept you distant from what you desire. The affirmation here says, I indulge in my passions and follow my heart. I am filled with love and boundlessness. While the bottom of the deck, seeking pleasure, reads, indulge and savor. It's time to embrace pleasure as an expression of the beauty of the body. Allow love to take hold and guide you to a ever higher level of bliss and excitement. The affirmation: I accept and indulge in pleasure. I am loved. How you attract love. Take this with a grain of salt, because you are who you are, you have your own beliefs. But if I'm being quite honest, I believe that love reveals itself once transmuted from physical passion for you. Again, the details of that is up to you and how you choose to let that transpire in your life. But this is where it really comes down to radical acceptance of who you are and recognizing what rules and regulations you've placed on yourself because of others' expectations, rules, or regulations. And for a lot of you, there's only one way for you to know or to find out if something works for you, especially with your shadow witch archetype. It feels like you work backwards. Not backwards as in it's wrong, but backwards as in the experience, you transmute it into light. If I'm being quite honest, this group here, you heal in spaces where most likely others would become destroyed. For example, let's keep it lighthearted as we can. Partying, having a good time, being out in a part of nightlife. A lot of the spiritual community, the candle started flickering. A lot of the spiritual community shuns this. Even religions, they shun this and say like, oh, that's of the devil. It's this, it's that. While for you, it's not about escapism, but more so about the structure of the joy, the pleasure, the fun, the indulgence, and what it does for your energy, how it allows you to transmute it. So there could be some shadow pleasures or shadow experiences that others may try to shame you for or downplay or say that you're doing for escapist purposes, when actually it's doing the complete opposite for you. It's rewiring you and allowing you to follow and flow through with those delightful passions and pleasures of life. So this is where it's really important to know yourself and harness that individual energy for yourself. Just because they say that if you like to dance and socialize with people, that means that you are demonic, then okay. Me personally, I don't subscribe to that. Some people literally heal through dancing, playing. Things that look like escapism to others may be healing to another. You have to know yourself. And that's how you are breaking through the block, is by knowing yourself enough to accept that maybe what one considers negative or toxic simply is not truth for you. But of course, it takes radical truth and acceptance to filter through that, to know if you are in your ego or if you're truly aligned with your spirit. Next, mysterious income and abundant opportunities opening for you. Ways that you may not see your own power is accessible, and how wealth wants to find you. Because you don't lack resources, you just lack the awareness of how they're trying to reach you. You, my friend, have partnership with regroup. Bottom deck reads nurturance and self-care, flexibility within structure. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. This group here, you are quite the catch and quite different. You are very different. This group here, you might notice that self-destruction comes when you try to take too much advice from others. If I'm being quite honest, taking advice from others may be one of the worst things that you could do, darling. So I appreciate you for trusting me and taking this advice. 24/24 on the timer as I just looked up. But it's very important for this group here to be very cognizant and mindful of readings that you accept, energy that you accept, advice that you accept. Be very mindful, okay? But with partnership, regroup, it reads, oh, before I get into that, the reason why I say that is because this group here, you're so taboo, darling, because what I'm picking up on immediately when it comes to mysterious income and abundant opportunities opening for you could be by staying in realms or in spaces with people that may need more help than they realize, and you can easily provide, not to the detriment of yourself, but you just can't. This is not me saying that you are living to fix others, but there's something about your natural essence as the shadow witch that heals and cleanses other people's shadows simply through your existence, simply by being around, being near, being you, being true. But let's dive deeper. So partnership regroup says, when your relationship goes through conflict, use the opportunity to look deeply into your own heart to see how your own thoughts and beliefs have contributed to this. Do everything in your own power to work things through and learn as much as you can from the situation. If you still find that this relationship diminishes you, have the courage to let go. Have faith during inevitable conflict. Be willing to hang in. You never know how something will turn out. That's what I'm talking about. Where most people would have to let go, you can hang on and transmute and make light of the situation or scenario. But again, as long as it doesn't diminish you. But as the shadow witch, it's very hard to truly diminish you. Do you understand what I'm saying, darling? It's very difficult to diminish your character or to make you feel less than your powerful self. Which means that you can withstand a lot more than the average person. This doesn't mean that you have to accept neglect and abuse. No, 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 no. I would never say that. But it does mean that you can take the lead and stick in there a little bit longer than anyone else. So where everyone else's guidance is let go, let go, let go, let go. Yours just might be hang in there. Because every death is a rebirth. And again, this is not giving you the green light to stay in abusive or toxic situations with people that don't appreciate you. But I'm saying that this energy here works well with the dark or the broken that may need a little bit more light, help, assistance, and guidance to see the way through. Where others would have to give up on them because it takes a toll on them, you persist naturally with ease and with grace. Which leads us to nurturance and self-care with flexibility within structure. Self-care requires planning and discipline, but also flexibility. Sometimes the best self-care happens when you simply let go of your planned routine and try something new or just relax. Know how to nurture yourself in both controllable and uncontrollable environments. This group here, you can handle a lot more than the average person. I'm just going to keep stressing that. Even difficult work environments, like we talked about, you being a performer, being in theater, that is not easy to persevere through because you face such harsh judgment. This group here can handle the spotlight. This group here can handle, dare I say, fame. Because it takes a lot more to break you. And even when you break, you will be made new again. So, with that being said, mysterious income and abundant opportunities opening up for you has to do with withstanding things and withstanding the test of time. You've got energetic capital. Your ability to persevere. And your ability to know how to nurture yourself in controllable and uncontrollable environments. So this is for my people that can work in some of the worst conditions with psychotherapy, with some of the most dangerous criminals, or the ability to explore the mind and the depth of some of the darkest realms of life and the world. And it won't break you. As well as passive digital income such as royalties, or creating courses or downloadable content, as well as dreams, whether this be interpretation of others' dreams or the sharing of your own dreams, and your ability to inspire deliverance through shadow work. You can do other people's shadow work. That's how powerful you are. You can show people the mirror that they refuse to face, and it doesn't matter how much they hate you for it, because you can handle it. You can transmute it. You can be in very difficult places, very difficult spaces, very difficult relationships, friendships, and thrive. Not survive, but thrive. I have to admit that something coming through here is that for some of you, pain just might be a kink for you. And that's okay. That's okay. And don't let nobody stop you. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Or if you're not the one enduring the pain, the mysterious income for you could be inflicting that pain onto others that have those kinks. But just being in places and spaces that might be taboo or weird or whatever. And let me add here that weird is not a bad word on this channel. Actually, it's quite the opposite, darling. This group here, you've got to embrace your freak, your geek, your kink in order to tap in to your unique seduction, to attract all that is. You've got to be willing to be weird. You've got to be willing to be different. You've got to be willing to stand out. So now let's get into rituals, routines, and practices to help you channel this energy now. I can't fully show that. Well, I kind of can, but I won't. You got 43 orgasm and 25 wild one at the bottom of the deck. 43, my pleasure opens portals. Energy builds, drawing in creative life force to a center point. It grows like an internal sun and suddenly bursts, sending its warmth outward with an explosive charge. Whether you are with a partner or solo, this is the sacred's body release and expression of energy that has been cultivated and called forward with patience, grace, and understanding. You are being called to open up to your ecstasy and full-bodied joy. Through the O field, whether it is generated by a physical or energetic practice, a direct connection to source is available to you. The O method is your friend. You can choose to engage with the infinite potential of this energetic terrain by using the climactic energy to amplify your manifestations, strengthen your connection with a partner, or empower yourself. Do so simply by focusing upon an intention while in this heightened state, allowing its imprint to merge with your supercharged energy body. As you bask in your bliss and integrate, allow the pleasure and your heart's desires to sync with every cell of your being. As a daily practice, follow what feels best and fills you with joy as you move toward any peak experience or toward the final stages of any project you have been nurturing. Allow pleasure to infuse and expand into your daily experience. So, pleasure, taboo, sensuality, sexuality, and the O method is part of your ritual, routine, and practice to channel this energy now. I will also read the wild one to you so you can walk away with the most from this reading, and I will leave you with 2 journal prompts. So for the O method, the journal prompt reads, where in my life could I benefit from cultivating more pleasure? And closing out with the wild one, I claim my full expression. The wild one is uninhibited, unencumbered, and weightless without the judgments and expressions or expectations of others anchoring her down. The chains that bind fall away and freedom is fully expressed. I want to pause and make note that El Diablo has chains. I'm going to read that last line again. The chains that bind fall away and freedom is fully expressed. Truth is the guiding star here, and it permeates every inch, moment, and action. With this internal compass, forward motion is propelled by a desire for authenticity and determination to claim what is most true and real. In a world that encourages sameness for safety at the expense of individuality, this is your sacred call to cast aside the narrative. Do so for the sake of your soul's path. The wild one asks you to choose freedom, a freedom found in being forthright and declaring who you are in the highest expression of yourself. Deep down, you may have this feeling that something has stayed locked inside you out of concern for what others may think or say, should they find out about it. You have the key. You have the courage. You have the inner knowing of the ways of your life will bloom and expand when this part of you is set free. So unlock the cage, release the chains, and welcome all of yourself to this experience of life. This journal prompt reads, what do I need to release in order to more fully embrace my truest self? I leave you with these 2 prompts. I read them again. Where in my life could I benefit from cultivating more pleasure? And what do I need to release in order to more fully embrace my truest self? Group number 2, I thank you so much for being here. We are going to be deep diving and exploring into a love reading this week over on Patreon, so join us for that. I will leave that link down below if you are interested, and my love readings are very grounded and do not leave you in limerence or delulu or with any other sort of BS. It's straightforward, what you need to know, what you need to hear to bring clarity to the now and moving forward and even the past. If you care to join us, that will be linked down below. Join us on Patreon, the second link in the description box. The first link, you can join me for a personal reading. Peruse the website. There's many different options to fit your needs. Live readings, pre-recorded, video calls, phone calls, you name it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding readings, you may message me. And also on the website, there's other things to peruse, such as learning tarot from me at your own pace through a very discounted course that you guys have expressed much love for throughout the years, and I appreciate your support in purchasing that course, amongst many other things. While the second link takes you to Patreon, where you get content that you won't get here on the channel. There's 3 tiers. The first tier is access to every pick-a-card reading that I ever post over there, at least one a week. The second tier gives you access to those weekly pick-a-cards on top of weekly check-ins. The third tier gives you access to your very own personal reading, as well as the weekly check-ins and the pick-a-cards. So take a look around, see what best fits your needs, wants, and desires. And I thank you in advance for supporting the channel for free by giving the video a thumbs up, leaving love in the comment section down below, and sharing this video with a friend. Make sure you subscribe. And if you would like to donate to the channel, there's a P.O. box, as well as a virtual tip jar. And I thank you in advance. Ta-ta for now, my darlings. Yay! Group number 3, you chose the Pulp Tarot. I feel like it's important to let it be known that the world is coming alive at this time that I'm doing your reading. You have, yes, dark femme energy, but there's a lot of light sun, what is that term? Chutzpah? I don't even know what that actually means. But je ne sais quoi, spiritual, magical, fairy dust, sprinkling, cutesy things about you going on here. But you chose the Pulp Tarot, and we're going to dive into your unique seduction signature and how you attract love, wealth, and admiration, darling. Let's get into the details. The Magician, the Page of Penticles, and the Queen of Swords to start us off. Bottom deck energy, the Four of Cups. Now, to expand into this, before we read your cards, we have the Dark Femme archetypes here. These are the core 7. 2 of them have already been selected for the first 2 groups, so there are 5 here left to describe you. And we're going to allow the one that most matches your energetic signature to pop out here. We've got it. And this is going to add to the flair, the essence, the energy of your reading. But before we explore that, overall, your unique seduction signature, how you attract love, wealth, and admiration, comes through in a clean and pristine manner. Prim. Don't touch, no touchy, if you will. That's how your energy is coming through, first things first, being exclusive, royal, maybe even a bit too good to be true. Ooh, and that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. You have the Dark Empress archetype. Very fitting, if I do say so myself. If I do say so myself. And I will give you a brief description of the Dark Empress, but feel free to explore the archetype much deeper on your own to add a more personalized touch to your reading. The Dark Empress is known for being wealthy, magnetic, and commanding. She reigns with sensual confidence and doesn't beg, she attracts. She receives with ease and expects to be adorned. She knows her value and sets standards accordingly. Keywords: luxury, ease, receiving, divine entitlement. Very, very fitting to the no touchy that we were getting earlier. How you attract love. How you attract love. Clarifying. The Magician is the Page of Swords, and how you attract love. You just simply are. You come as you are, and you express your interest. It's quite that simple. Group number 3. You see something that you like, you want it, you've got it. That's how you attract love. You declare what you do and don't like. You're a bit commanding, a bit bossy in your energy, but that works for you in your attraction of love in particular. Those that are meant to love you are servers. There are people that naturally serve as a way to express love. You and those types of individuals were made for each other. Group number 3. How you attract love is through demanding, commanding acts of service, giving instruction, being the lead, being the boss, but a feminine leader, a feminine boss who already comes with it all naturally on their own. How you attract wealth. The Page of Pentacles clarified by the Knight of Wands. How you attract wealth. Learning, school, certifications, self-taught, and then you act on the information that you just took in. That's how you attract wealth. This group here, you might be the type that is in school for life, honey. Learning, you're a lifelong learner. That's your key to the bag. And at some points in time, you turn from the student to the teacher and attract wealth by being the teacher. But your wealth is attracted through education, whether it be receiving education or giving education. But it's all about putting it into action. That's how you attract the wealth. Putting your knowledge into practice. Very much getting a lot of self-taught streams of income coming through here. But I don't want to dive too deep into that because then I'll be getting ahead of myself. That's something that we will discuss later. And how you attract admiration. Queen of Swords clarified by... I'm not going to take them. Yes, I will. How you attract admiration. It's interesting because it's no more Mrs. Nice Guy. Bottom deck, 10 of Pentacles. Strictly about business, about our morals, about what needs to be done, about time that needs to be had, making use of this, making use of that. So, how you attract admiration is through making demands, in a cordial manner, straightforward manner. Again, not begging. And it's not sweet, as in like, will you pretty please do this for me? It's the Queen of Swords determining what she would like, what would make her happy. Yes. So how you attract admiration is by saying, what would make me happy is insert whatever it is that would make you happy. You attract admiration through straightforwardness in expressing how you feel, what you like, or what you know. And not creating any sort of complications or shadows of doubt in regards to what it might mean when you say something. Your feelings and your logic show up confidently, classily, wholeheartedly in your attraction of admiration. This is a type of individual that expresses when they are not happy with something, when they are happy with something, when they want more or less of something. You attract admiration through no BS communication. There's no underlying meaning, or just simply no need to look any further or try to figure out how I feel. People admire your straightforward mannerisms without any sort of confusion tainting your communication. So, let's dive a bit further into your reading and talk about what blocks are melting away now. What blocks are melting away now? There's something here about like a chunkiness, like trying to group things together when they need to be separated. Like, let's say it's a group of cards like this. And instead of chunking it all together, we need to look at them individualistically. Something about that is relevant in regards to blocks that are melting away. Maybe trying to do everything all at once instead of focusing or harnessing it on the one thing. So you have the number 6, a loving gaze. This is like a more erotic deck, but this image here is pretty safe, so it can exist. And at the bottom of the deck says 10, the warrior of love. So, what blocks are melting away now? It has to do with your facial expressions. You would try to hide how you felt on your face, or yeah, there's this facial control, this RBF that is melting away. Which allows you to exist in that point blank period energy that allows you to attract admiration. You're no longer trying to have a poker face or conceal how you feel. You let it all show through. A loving gaze reads, "These eyes shine with radiant love." Look all around you and embrace what you see. See it as love and project love outward. You used to try to hide the love that you felt, saw. Ooh. But now you're letting it all hang out. The affirmation of the loving gaze says, "I see love. I express love. I am love." This group here tried to shame themselves for love, and you literally have the warrior of love at the bottom of the deck. You just exist in love now. What's melting away is trying to hide your desires, or trying to hide what you love, or trying to hide what you want. The Warrior of Love says, I am unstoppable in my pursuit. Climb upon your steed and ride into your sunset. Feel the light radiating upon you. Affirmation, I am a strong, relentless, and fierce warrior of love. Yeah, this group here, what's melting away is you trying to play cool, or trying to play coy, or trying to play mysterious. Because straightforward is your friend. Straightforward is your BITCH. That's your secret weapon. Getting down to business, if you will, with the, I almost said the King of Pentacles, but that's the Ten of Pentacles is what I meant to say. Like we talked about here, you expressing in a way that says, what would make me happy is this, or this does not make me happy. There's a vulnerability that you would once run from, that you are now allowing yourself to become. This is your breakthrough. That was a block that is now melting away for you. Diving further into your reading, we are exploring mysterious income and abundant opportunities opening for you. Ways that you may not see your own power is accessible. How wealth wants to find you, because you don't lack resources. You just lack the awareness of how they're trying to reach you, which drives us back here to this teaching and this learning and putting it into practice. You, my friend, have received partnership, imagine, and allow, with bottom of the deck energy expressing enlightened heart and mind with regroup. This is immediately giving life coaching advice, fashion advice, dating advice, being a parent to any and everyone that is willing to accept your expressions. Imagine and allow partnership. And in combination with enlightened heart and mind, regroup. Starting off with the imagine and allow. In order to achieve partnership with others, you first have to be comfortable and at home with all aspects of yourself. Remember, you opening up to that loving gaze. This group here, before I read any further, I have to say that you know a lot more than you put on. And you used to hide your intuitive knowing. How do I, you'll be in situations or circumstances and you'll want to have a soft approach, but you would hide or retract that softness because of whatever doubt, blockage, or fear of lack of resonance or judgment of others. Or you didn't want to be seen as too loving or too kooky. That was getting in the way. I'm going to start over again. In order to achieve partnership with others, you first have to be comfortable and at home with all aspects of yourself. It has been said that the cure for loneliness is solitude. As long as you are looking for someone outside of yourself to complete you, you will never find true partnership. But the minute you become delighted with yourself and learn to enjoy your own company, you'll be setting the stage for true partnership with others. Cultivate a loving relationship with yourself. Be willing to be alone and enjoy your own company. Put it into park is what I was getting, as the garbage truck you may have heard come through, or the recycling truck. I don't know who, the window is closed, but there's this park and get comfortable with yourself and then others. There's ways that you desired to show up, but stopped yourself from showing up in these ways out of fear of being seen as love. Because the cool thing to be in this world is nonchalant. But you, my friend, love to chalant. You love to care. You love to love. And until you accepted that aspect of you, you could not fully emerge. Enlightened Heart in Mind with Regroup says, be willing to update your information regularly. Keep asking questions. Are you operating under the influence of outmoded data? Have you opened your heart to learning new ways of thinking and doing things? Be willing to admit that you're wrong or have made a mistake. It's the only way to learn. Lifelong learner, my friend. You could most likely excel and find mysterious income and abundant opportunities through education. You might be the type that would literally be paid to go to school. That would literally be paid the highest salary to teach a certain subject. It's your gift of teaching and learning that you can capitalize off of. And it's your willingness to apply and to show up in the truth of everything that you have absorbed like a sponge. I'm being shown a yoga mat. Okay? So don't be limited in your thoughts of where this is applicable. But money, wealth, opportunities are in education, giving and receiving education. Now, as we dive deeper into your reading, I almost said deeper and further, we will explore rituals, routines, and practices for you to channel this energy now. The vaginal canal from the Sacred Cycles book, and bottom of the deck, the cervix. Okay, so yours is just straight to it. Straight to it. Number 44 and 45. Straight to it, nothing to it but to do it. One foot after the other. 44, vaginal canal. Reads, I am open. A holy portal, an opening. The vaginal canal is a connection point between the outer world and the inner sanctum of serenity and magic. While often used to describe the whole reproductive space, the true vag is the tunnel-like portion of the anatomy from the opening to the cervix. This channel holds the wisdom of the liminal space. It is an in-between, a doorway to step through, should you choose to. It's filled with the potential to experience sensations of bliss and usher in new life. You are at the edge of a unique experience. This is an invitation to choose between remaining in a place that is comfortable and familiar to you or entering the portal into the unknown. The recognizable world you have created holds the gift of safety and security. Entering into the darkness opens you to uncertainty, shimmering with the endless possibilities. There is no right decision here, only an acknowledgement of what beckons you most at this time and then wholeheartedly accepting that calling. Journal prompt for this says, where in my life do I have an opportunity to make a choice between the familiar and the unknown? And the cervix reads, I know what is best for me. Acting as a sacred boundary and gateway, the cervix protects the sanctum of the womb space. Located at the end of the vaginal canal, it shifts position and shape throughout the hormonal cycle, expanding, contracting, releasing fluids, and adjusting as needed to the sacred body's energetic experience. This threshold invites you to acknowledge your boundaries and edges of comfort. It is time to consider the relationships, contracts, and connections in your life. Find clarity around who and what is rooted in integrity and where your trust has been earned or broken. With this comes the balancing act between safely de-armoring the blockades constructed from fear or trauma and empowering your own discernment. This process is slow and steady, no need to rush. Allow yourself the time and space to connect with the wisdom of this inner boundary and apply its guidance to your experience. The journal prompt, where in my life and with whom do I need more or fewer boundaries? I will reiterate those two journal prompts one more time. Where in my life do I have an opportunity to make a choice between the familiar and the unknown? And where in my life and with whom do I need more or fewer boundaries? I thank you for joining us here, group number 3. Thank you for choosing to trust me to be your reader. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. And if you are interested, later this week over on Patreon, we will be diving into the deep depths of the most fortuitous love reading that you could get at this time. My love readings are very grounded, straightforward, and clear for you to know what to do here and now, for bringing clarity to the past and into the future. If that's something that piques your interest, please join us, as it is no BS, no limerence, no delulu, just what's real. That Patreon link will be in the description box down below. Patreon is the second link in the description box, where you can join us for content that you won't get here on the main channel. That second link takes you to Patreon, where there are 3 different tiers. The first tier gives you access to pick-a-card readings, at least one every single week, that you will not get here on the main channel. The second tier gives you access to a weekly check-in, at least one every single week, on top of the pick-a-cards of the first tier. The second tier gives you access to the second tier and the first tier, while the third tier gives you access to all of the aforementioned, as well as your very own monthly personal reading. So that's a monthly personal reading on top of weekly energy check-ins at least once a week, and pick-a-cards at least once a week. If that sounds like something that interests you, join us over on Patreon for whatever fits your needs, wants, and desires. I thank you in advance. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, that's the very first link in the description box to take you over to my website, where you can book a personal reading or peruse the website and find many different treasures and goodies that you didn't even know existed. As well as learning tarot from me, as I have created a course at a very discounted rate based on the information that I provided throughout the years, and you guys have given great feedback. And so I thought I would give that back to you so that you can have and hold it for the rest of time until the end of time and move through it at your own pace, at your own rate. And I thank you for supporting the channel by giving this video a thumbs up, leaving love in the comment section down below, sharing this video with a friend, and hitting the subscribe button. If you would like to donate to the channel another way, there is a P.O. box as well as a virtual tip jar in the description box down below. And I thank you in advance. Ta-ta for now. If you already know the vibe, then you already know the vibe. Subscribers only. What message is meant to find you in the subscribers only section? The Magician, the 7 of Wands, Hanged Man. The Page of Cups reversed. The Two of Swords. Queen of Swords. And the Devil. Bottom deck. The Sun. Okay. So there is recognition of a manifestation that was or is or may be put on hold. The recognition is in the why. Okay, if you don't know why now, you will very soon. Peeking out is a Page of Swords. This feels like puzzle pieces and everything being put in its place. An understanding, a seeing why, and a relatability. For some reason, I'm not satisfied with the placement of these cards. Basically, there was ignoring happening here, ignoring of intuition that was blocking inspiration or blocking flow or blocking the process, or making things more complicated than they needed to be. But you are being freed, darling. It feels like you're being released from prison, my guy. Let's allow the Osho Zen Tarot to expand. Guidance comes out with bottom of the deck. Silence. Silencio. Guidance. The number 3. I'm going to read that straight from the book for you, darling. Take this time to breathe, to relax, because I do feel that it is literally time to do just that. Guidance. The angelic figure with rainbow-colored wings on this card represents the guide that each of us carries within. Like the second figure in the background, we may sometimes be a little reluctant to trust this guide when it comes to us because we are so accustomed to taking our cues from the outside rather than from the inside. The truth of your own deepest being is trying to show you where to go right now. And when this card appears, it means you can trust the inner guidance you are being given. It speaks in whispers, and sometimes we can hesitate, not knowing if we have understood rightly. But the indications are clear. In following the inner guidance, you will feel more whole, more integrated, as if you are moving outward from the very center of your being. If you go with it, this beam of light will carry you exactly where you need to go. Did that not just summarize everything that I said? Baby. And also, I think that there's no coincidence that I placed the Sun card. Like, it didn't feel right until the Sun card was over here by the candlelight. You're seeing something clearly. You're no longer questioning your thoughts or questioning how you feel or questioning this and questioning that. It goes on to say, you have to look for guidance because you don't know your inner guide is hidden inside you. You have to find the inner guide, and that's what I call your witness. That's what I call your Dharma. That's what I call your intrinsic Buddha. You have to awaken that Buddha, and your life will shower blessings, benediction. Your life will become so radiant with good, with godliness, more than you could possibly conceive. It is almost like light. Your room is dark, just bring light in. Even a small candle will do. Oh, wow. How ironic is that? And the whole darkness disappears. And once you have a candle, you know where the door is. You don't have to think, where is the door? Only blind people think about where the door is. People who have eyes and the light is there, they don't think. Have you ever thought, where is the door? You simply get up and go out. You never give a single thought to where the door is. You don't start groping for the door or hitting your head against the wall. You simply see, and there is not even a flicker of thought. You simply go out. So, the simplicity of listening to your inner thoughts and how that manifests. You've been somehow holding yourself back from your inner guidance, which has been holding you back. Period. But this video finds you, this reading finds you, when all of that has shifted. Let's read into our good friend, silence. Number 17, which would be equivalent to the star card in traditional tarot. The silent mirror-like receptiveness of a star-filled night with a full moon is reflected in the misty lake below. The face in the sky is deep in meditation, a goddess of the night who brings depth, peace, and understanding. Now is a very precious time. It will be easy for you to rest inside, to plumb the depths of your own inner silence to the point where it meets the silence of the universe. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go, and the quality of your inner silence permeates everything you do. It might make some people uncomfortable, accustomed as they are to all of that noise and activity of the world. Never mind. Seek out those who can resonate with your silence or enjoy your aloneness. Now is a time to come home to yourself. The understanding and insights that come to you in these moments will be manifested later on in a more outgoing phase of your life. The energy of the whole has taken possession of you. You are possessed. You are no more. The whole is. This moment, as the silence penetrates you, you can understand the significance of, because it is the same silence that Gautam Buddha experienced. It is the same silence that Zhuangzhao, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that, or Bodhidharma, I'm sure I mispronounced that as well, I do apologize, or Nanzin. The taste of silence is the same. Time changes, the world goes on changing, but the experience of silence, the joy of it, remains the same. That is the only thing you can rely upon. The only thing that never dies. It is the only thing that you can call your very being. This feels like flourishing. This feels like nourishment. This feels like not forcing, but flowing. You might be hearing the recycle/garbage truck outside. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's one of them. Energy to embody. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo, bottom of the deck, the energy is gaining momentum. Activations happening for you at this time. Have no shame in your game about where your guidance is telling you to go, or if you are being guided into silence. Soul time in the reverse. Yeah, okay. So for a lot of you, you've been silent in whatever way. And that silence has been speaking to you, and now you're getting ready to come out of that. you're finally allowing yourself to not be silent, to exist in the truth of what that silence revealed to you. Because Soul Time reads, Soul Time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. You've been in a silent phase or a silent chapter, and like I discussed at the very beginning, it seems like you're coming out of this because you're listening to the guidance. It may have also been silence that plagued you due to fear of judgment, but now you are allowing yourself to just shine, to just be, and to just exist as you are. Let's see where this shakeup, this roar, will be coming from. Leo season is up next. So let's say that you'll be experiencing this within the next 4 to 6 weeks. This is a timeless reading. But either way, 4 to 6 weeks, you'll see this change. Mars in your actions. Point blank period. You are ascending to acting different, to showing up different. And this is your willingness to be. Interestingly enough, I thought I was done, but I'm being told to conduct a reading for you, to tell you what is currently making you attractive. So you're getting your very own pick a card. In this pick a card, give me a moment, please. Pick a number 1 through 3. And we're going to talk about what is currently making you attractive. These are going to be quick, so I'm not putting timestamps. Group 1, the dream. What is currently making you attractive if you chose 1? The 9 of Cups, Page of Swords reversed. It's currently making you attractive, the beginning. Your reassuredness, determination, the belief that something is or will be. There's something or someone that you're pursuing. Yeah, the moon, your feelings, something dreamy has taken over you. Something that you want has taken over you, and you're not looking at it as if it's just a mere thought, but you're looking at it as reality. What's making you attractive at this time is the dream brought to reality. So if you are sharing ideas before you manifest them, and then people see this process, oh my, are they intrigued? Are they interested? And do they want to know more about you? There's depth here that's making you extremely attractive at this time. The dream card reads, let's see here. It has been said again and again, down through the ages, all the religious people have been saying, we come alone into the world, we go alone. All togetherness is illusionary. The very idea of togetherness arises because we are alone, and the aloneness hurts. We want to drown our aloneness in a relationship. That's why we become so involved in love. Try to see the point. Ordinarily, you think you have fallen in love with a woman or with a man because she is beautiful, he is beautiful. That is not the truth. The truth is just the opposite. You have fallen in love because you cannot be alone. We were going to fall in love. You were going to avoid yourself somehow and other. And there are people who don't fall in love with women or men. Then they fall in love with money. They start moving into money or into a power trip. They become politicians. That too is avoiding your aloneness. If you watch yourself deeply, you will be surprised. All your activities can be reduced to one single source. The source is that you are afraid of your aloneness. Everything else is just an excuse. The real cause is that you find yourself very alone. So, as I said, you could be attracted to something or a dream of some sort and making that reality. And I think the intrigue, the most attractive thing in the appeal is that you know the core of it. You know that it may not be needed or necessary, but you simply want it, which is adding a very interesting appeal, a very interesting mix, this desire to want but not need. This is what's making you attractive at this time, especially these colors, blues coming through here, throat chakra and the third eye. You express what you envision, you express what you want. But there's something here that you're not doing it out of desperation or alienation, but just simply as is. There's a very interesting twist to your story where it's like you want something that you know that you don't need, and that of in itself is making you attractive. Group 2, laziness. I'm starting to see what's happening here. These are shadow attributes that are making you attractive, things that you may have shamed yourself for, that are making you attractive because you are alchemizing the energies. The alchemy is what's making you attractive. 5 of Pentacles. The Hanged Man. And the Knight of Swords. Bottom deck, the Queen of Wands. What's making you attractive is your output. The things that you are putting time, effort, and energy into, and the things that you are literally saying, I am not putting time, effort, and energy into. That's what's making you attractive. There was a shame in what you were willing to or wanting to do. You're letting go of shame, which is adding to your appeal. Like you're simply like, I don't have the desire to do this, and so I will not. But then you get so lit up and excited about other things that you do want to do, and the things that you do go and do, it's very clear that you're not lazy. Laziness reads, when you are lazy, it is a negative taste. You simply feel that you have no energy, you simply feel dull, you simply feel sleepy, you simply feel dead. When you are in a state of non-doing, you are full of energy. It is a very positive taste. You have full energy, overflowing. You are radiant, bubbling, vibrating. You are not sleepy. You are perfectly aware. You are not dead. You are tremendously alive. There's a possibility the mind can deceive you. It can rationalize laziness as non-doing. It can say, I have become a Zen master, or I believe in Tao, but you are not deceiving anybody else. You will be deceiving only yourself. So be alert. Again, there's this common energy here from group number 1 that's also related to this reading. Something that we deem as negative, that is being spun or being seen for what it truly is, so that it simply just is. It's not positive or negative. It just is. You've accepted. You've come into radical acceptance, which is making you more attractive, more appealing. Okay? And group number 3, adventure time. This reading is very intriguing. I hope y'all are understanding where I'm coming from, because this is topsy-turvy. It's flipping things on its head. Adventure. What's making the adventure group attractive? It's radical acceptance. That's what the core of these readings is all about. 4 of Pentacles, Temperance, King of Swords. Bottom deck, Death card. Okay. So in this case, what's making you attractive at this time has to do with something that you simply could not let go of, but you have now rationalized, you have now processed and come to a full and complete understanding, so you can put something to rest, something that you were longing after that was not for you, or just wasn't for you at this time, or you had to detach from, even if it is for you. You finally come to that restful space. Zen says truth has nothing to do with authority. Truth has nothing to do with tradition. Truth has nothing to do with the past. Truth is a radical, personal realization. You have come to it. Knowledge is certain. The search for personal knowing is very, very hazardous. Nothing can guarantee it. If you ask me if I can guarantee anything, I say I cannot guarantee you anything. I can only guarantee danger. That much is certain. I can only guarantee you a long adventure with every possibility of going astray and never reaching the goal. But one thing is certain, the very search will help you grow. I can guarantee only growth. Danger will be there. Sacrifice will be there. You'll be moving every day into the unknown, into the uncharted, and there will be no map to follow, no guide to follow. Yes, there are millions of dangers. And you can go astray and you can get lost, but that is the only way one grows. Insecurity is the only way to grow, to face danger, and the only way to grow. To accept the challenge of the unknown is the only way to grow. Radical acceptance. That's what all of these pick a card messages have in common. Radical acceptance of something that we deemed as negative. To realize that nothing is truly negative nor positively charged, but it only takes on that charge if we give it such meaning. You've given yourself the grace of neutrality to just be.